Two different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
Welcome back to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark, and tonight we got some stories for you, some things that's been going on, and we're here to talk about some of them. We got the news out of Los Angeles. We got some stuff going on with Yee and Kim Kardashian, and this story out of Georgia with these two teenage boys doesn't make any sense. This murder suicide, as they calling it, nobody's buying that. And Jackie Robinson, what is up with the DOD and this DE&I stuff? We're gonna talk about all that tonight. But first, if you could do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. And as I say on all my shows, I thank all of y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, and just continue to support the channel. We continue to grow. We are 4 subscribers away from being at 13,000, eclipsing the 13,000 mark. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Help me out. It don't cost you anything. So let's get into it. Well, the big news is out of Los Angeles. It broke yesterday. Big RICO indictment on, music mogul, community activist, Rolling 60 member, Big U. This indictment came down from the federal government. It's a RICO charge, and it doesn't look good right now. This does not look good. And so we're gonna listen to the news, and then I'm gonna give my take on it. And if you got any comments, you wanna chat, you can just go in the chat. Just comment in the chat, and I'll showcase some of those comments. But let's take a listen to the news out of Los Angeles.
Prominent music and community figures is now facing serious criminal charges.
That's right. Federal authorities say Eugene Big U Henley led a violent criminal enterprise responsible for murder, extortion, and fraud.
KCAL News anchor Gio Insignaris joins us now with a story that is shocking a whole lot of people tonight.
That's certainly an understatement, Juan. Susie, good evening to both of you. Authorities describing Eugene Big U Henley as a man who presented himself as an entertainment entrepreneur and a community leader. We've even reported on his charitable efforts as recently as this past Christmas. But federal investigators now say he ran what they're calling a mafia-like organization responsible for serious crimes across L.A. Federal agents say Eugene Henley led what they're calling the Big U Enterprise, a criminal organization tied to the Rollin' 60s Crips street gang. According to a 107-page complaint, Henley and his associates allegedly extorted professional athletes and musicians, including NBA star Draymond Green and Lakers legend Shaquille O'Neal, persuading them to donate to his charities and later allegedly transferring the money to his personal bank accounts.
The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him.
Authorities also say Henley is linked to the 2021 murder of an aspiring rapper whose body was found in the Las Vegas desert. Investigators accuse Henley of fatally shooting the young musician over a dispute. In addition to violent crimes, prosecutors say Henley defrauded donors, including celebrities and companies, funneling charity funds into his personal accounts. His organization, Developing Options, received millions from LA's Gang Reduction and Youth Development Program.
All right. So y'all see what's going on here. They alleging that he ran a criminal enterprise. His Big U Enterprises. They allege that he used that to extort stuff and extort people, and use tactics to take the money from the charity and pocket it. Can't do that. Even if you own the charity, if the money is being donated to the charity for charitable purposes, you cannot be out here taking the money and spending it on yourself. Obviously, if you own the charity and you set it up in a way that you could, get paid, that's one thing. But if you're taking money directly that's supposed to be going to charitable causes and you're saying you're doing that, then Obviously, the IRS is going to get involved, and the Fed going to get involved. So that's how this all started. But let's continue to listen to what they say, though.
Used that goodwill to benefit himself. He diverted money from that charity and lined his own pockets with it, and that money was ultimately traced, and that we can show that he used it for personal purposes.
Dr. Georgia Leap, an adjunct professor of social welfare at UCLA, is an expert in gangs and community justice. She knew Henley through her work and says this latest news is heartbreaking but not shocking.
He was a very charismatic, very arresting, no pun intended, a very arresting personality. And, you know, he had the smile and he had the charisma, and he could talk to kids and he could talk to OGs and everybody in between.
I got a Ninja Turtle set and I got a Spider-Man set.
Last Christmas, he collected $40,000 in donations for a South LA toy drive. But the night before the event, he claimed a truck containing all the toys was stolen. He offered up security video of the truck driving off and pleaded with the community to donate again. It did. At the time, Henley called it a great save by the community.
To think that somebody was stealing a bunch of toys, stealing Christmas, that's kind of crazy.
Henley's community roots also stretch to other major Southern California figures. He helped launch the career of rapper Nipsey Hussle and starred in a 2021 FX docuseries called Hip Hop Uncovered. Henley's son is also LA Chargers linebacker Dayan Henley.
The world of crime, not just with gangs, but the world of crime is seductive. And even when people say they've walked away, a minority, a small number, get lured back in.
Henley, who previously served 13 years in prison for a drug-related robbery, turned himself in Wednesday afternoon. He'll face charges of extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and murder. Henley is among 19 people accused in the wide-ranging charges. As for the long-term impact, experts believe a sense of betrayal from community members is understandable, but won't deter the long-term goal of helping others.
I think
All right. So we see what this is. It's a sad state of affairs if what they're alleging is true. I don't know. You know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. I guess we'll see how this trial goes, but we already know how the Fed is. They don't have a 98% conviction rate for nothing. And if they built this case, they built it over a period of time. This ain't something that just came down the pipe. They've been watching Big U and this group of people for a long time. If they got things going all the way back to, a death that happened in Las Vegas, a couple of years ago. One thing I'm going to say is, if you saw as the throughout that video, you saw the camera kind of pan across the pictures, and some of the indictment papers are online. Y'all can find them, but what you see is they're talking about podcasts, shows, and the things that these guys were saying. Now, some of these guys that's been indicted along with Big U that have been caught up in this have been on these podcast shows with Adam 22. They've been on DJ Vlad. They've been on all these podcast shows, and they've been talking. And now the Fed has used the podcast shows, the actual interviews from the podcast shows are part of the criminal indictment against these guys. I don't know what made them think that they could just be online just talking about this stuff. I mean, there's a saying, no snitching and all that stuff. I get all that, but these guys kind of told on themselves. They were on the shows doing this countlessly, just saying stuff, talking about stuff that they have already done, things that had just taken place, and things that could happen. And some of this stuff was taking place. So they're all caught up in this. We know how the Fed is. Obviously, Big U was the big fish, and everybody else that's caught up in this, they're going to make some. We know what the Fed is going to do. They're going to pressure some of these people The lower level people who really may have been involved in maybe one or two things, they're going to offer them up plea deals in order to testify. Now, if they do so, then we already know the street code stuff and how things go. People retaliate. People may have to go into witness protection. Nobody may not say nothing. They may all go to jail. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we have a situation here where you got all these people caught up in a sweeping indictment. And for all the good that Big U was doing in Los Angeles with the kids and his anti-gang initiatives, getting money from the city of Los Angeles, you heard in the video, millions of dollars. For all of that, to have this now over your head, just it's heartbreaking, you know. So, you know, I'll be monitoring this case here. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna waste no time. I don't see none of these people getting out. I don't think, you know, when the Fed come, they like when they do their bond hearings, they're gonna make it stick. So this may be the last time that Big U see the streets. Was yesterday. If the Fed do exactly what I anticipate them doing. So moving on. Have y'all heard this story out of Atlanta? Out of Georgia, actually. Two black teens were found dead in the mountains in Georgia. And how they were found to be missing is because they missed their flight to Boston. Now, the family of these twin boys are crying foul because they saying that there's no way that these kids knew, these two twins, they ain't know nothing about Georgia. Okay, they ain't know nothing about this area. And here they are with gunshot wounds to the head. You know, it's looking very, very suspect right now. So, just yesterday, a firefighter who you know found them has been arrested because he took a picture of them. So this is very, very unique. So I want y'all to hear this story because I'm not buying any of it, and we're going to talk about it on the other side.
The bodies of twin brothers who'd been shot to death at the top of a mountain and then sharing those pictures.
That's right. So the hiker found 19-year-old Kaidir and Nazir Lewis at Bell Mountain in Towns County on March 8th. This is 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially labeled the shooting as a murder-suicide. However, the family believes something more sinister happened to the twins. 11
Alive's Cody Alcorn first reported the family's concerns on Friday. He spoke with them again tonight following the arrest of this firefighter. Cody's live for us tonight in the newsroom. And Cody, the family is reacting to what's really disturbing development.
That's right, Jennifer and Ron. Obviously, they are disgusted by all of this. Now, we don't know just how many people shared this horrific picture of the twins' dead bodies. But tonight I confirmed with the Towns County schools the picture had been shared among students.
How do you have a picture of dead bodies being shared to students at a school? This is absolutely just horrific and just despicable. I mean, the level of trauma with that, just unreal.
Oh my goodness. It's scary. I'm like literally scared to actually go on social media. I'm scared to pick up my phone. I'm like, because if I see that picture, I already know that I might have a heart attack.
Imagine if they mothers see that, like, that would really destroy her. She's already going through a lot.
This is how the family of Kaidir and Nazir Lewis want to remember the twins. However, now worried knowing crime scene photos showing the 19-year-old's bodies with a gunshot wound have been shared outside of law enforcement.
It's very disrespectful to this family. I feel like our privacy was invaded.
The volunteer firefighter accused of taking the picture, charged and arrested. As for how the twins ended up on Bell Mountain on March 8th, their aunt and uncle can't make sense of it. The twins missed their flight to Boston on Friday morning, March 7th.
Then next thing you know, we hear the news about them found in the mountains. And we're still confused. I'm like, what? The twins? Mountains? This doesn't make sense.
We didn't believe that that was even them.
And then
Yeah.
Bell Mountains, I'm like, no one even, we never even heard of it before. And I know the twins never been there before. They never heard of it before. I'm like, that was super strange.
Yes.
I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
The GBI initiative.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense because nobody knows what's going on. It don't make sense because this doesn't seem right.
Actually calling the case a possible murder-suicide. The family adamant that can't be the case.
Doesn't make any sense.
This absolutely just like
Out of character.
Yes.
Their bodies found 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville.
they don't even like driving the distance.
They don't.
There's
Because
something they don't do.
because they don't like to pay for gas.
Described as extremely protective of one another.
Every time you see them, they're like together all the time. Yeah. All the time.
And there's probably nothing in your head you could imagine that got between them that would lead to a murder-suicide.
No.
No.
If they had a problem that severe, we would know. The family
Definitely.
would know.
The Towns County volunteer firefighter accused of taking the pictures, Scott Curlin, was charged with misdemeanor obstruction. Tonight, the attorney for Towns County told me there are no cameras at Bell Mountain. He said the area is not staffed. Now, the gate to Bell Mountain opens at 8 a.m. and closes at sundown. The twins' family says the twins' car was found inside the gates in the parking lot. Their phones, wallet, and plane tickets for that Boston trip were inside the car.
All right.
Okay, so we got this story here. This makes zero sense. They were on their way to the airport, ended up in the mountains of North Georgia, on a hill, gunshot wounds to the head, murder, suicide, family not buying it, I'm not buying it. Something seems foul and fishy about this. And then you have a firefighter taking a picture. Now it's been shared amongst social media and all around the school. Like, this is despicable. The twins were supposed to be on their way to the airport so they could fly to Boston. And the cops want the family to believe that they made some suicide pact with each other and one of them took each other's life. Oh, by the way, y'all, they don't know where the murder weapon is at. They didn't find a murder weapon. That's the part of the story that is getting left out. They haven't found a murder weapon. They just found them with gunshot wounds to the head. Car inside the park. What happened? No cameras at the mountains. Nobody knows nothing. Clearly, there has to be some camera footage of the car going to Bell Mountain. Like maybe on an interstate highway, some type of cameras. I know Atlanta got these. I know that Georgia got highway cameras everywhere. So there has to be some type of something. This doesn't make any sense. The family has ordered another autopsy, so they're gonna wait to see what goes on with that. I'm praying for this family because that's not closure. That can't be closure for this family. Not in this manner. No suicide, no stress or anything. Nothing that they could figure out about the boys. No erratic behavior. No excessive spending. Nothing out of the norm. Nothing out of the ordinary. That doesn't really equal suicide in most cases. The youth don't. That doesn't do it. So I don't know how this family, how they could accept this from the GBI. This is some lazy police work here, and this family needs better than that. They 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 deserve to at least have you all investigate this thoroughly and then come up with the conclusion. And if it comes back that was a murder suicide, then okay. But at least give them some give them more than what y'all are giving them right now. This, you know, no family just wants to hear this. I know I wouldn't. So let's see where we gonna go next. Uh yeah. Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Well, Ye, as he likes to call him, Ye, whatever he wants to call himself. Um, they've been going back and forth about the kids. And as a dad, I never want to see relationships where people are having issues co-parenting, because the kids suffer the most in a non uh, cohesive co-parenting relationship. The kids suffer. The adults are the ones that are acting the fool, and the kids are the ones that are inheriting the trauma because they seeing all this and they're experiencing all this. So I never like seeing stories like this. I never like hearing stories like this, um, because this is everyday life. It don't matter whether you're a celebrity or whether you just Joe and Jill down the street. These things happen, but I hate to see them. So over the weekend, uh, well, last week, Kanye decided that he was going to release a song that he did with Diddy, and it sounds like a jailhouse recording, with Diddy talking, him and Diddy having a conversation. He tells him he loves him and stuff like that, and thank you for the support and all this. Uh, However, North is on the song, and she's kind of like talking or like doing um, some ad libs on the song as well, and it's really kind of making it seem like he may not have done it, and there might be something else to it. So Kim saw Kanye post this on his social media that he was going to be releasing this song, and she had an issue with it. So rightfully so, she went to him. Hey, no, don't do that. Why you got her on this song? This is, look at the image of this. Look at what this man has been accused of, and you out here doing this crazy stuff. Well, that ain't stopped Kanye. He went at her on social media and his little rants like he always do, and they ended up in mediation. They had to go to mediation, and upon going to mediation, it was reported. It was reported now that Kanye was not going to release the song. Well, he released it anyway on Sunday. That threw it into a frenzy. So they're back and forth on the line again about this. And then, oh, by the way, now Ye is out kicking it, and he was going to have the kids around the Tate brothers. And I'm talking about Andrew Tate, and his brother, um, Tristan, the two Manosphere dudes who were over on house arrest in Romania for charges related to human trafficking and all this other stuff. So, rightfully so, Kim would have a problem with this, even though they were on house arrest and they're back in the United States, and you got people like Governor DeSantis down in Florida who has always said that the Tate brothers can't come down there. There's also allegations that they may have been some secret deal to get them out. This is all alleged. However, whatever there are cases against these guys. There is a case in the UK against these guys. There are records of people who over 34 women and a couple of minors who have given testimony to things that they were coerced into doing with these guys. This is all alleged, right? Because they haven't been, indicted, criminally charged with nothing. They were on house arrest in Romania for some reason. They finally let them go. Now they're back in the United States. But Ye is going to have these dudes around his kids. I don't care. I don't know what Ye is on, but this is not a good look at all. Dude, what are you doing? Why would you want to have your kids around dudes who are alleged to be involved in some of the most gruesome stuff that can happen with women? And you got girls. Like, what's not clicking? And he feels like he should be able to do all this stuff. He goes on this Twitter rant today. He accusing his ex-wife of being a sex worker, and like, dude, what? Like, do you really think your kids want to be putting on social media, getting on social media, seeing their dad spazzing out, doing all this, talking reckless about their mom like this? Like, bro, and you hanging out with dudes like these, just out of control for no reason, man. And I feel bad for your kids because they shouldn't have to be experiencing this. It seems like Kim wants you to have a relationship with your kids, and you should have a relationship with your kids and be around them and nurture them and be the father. But you out here just doing stuff just all out of control. You got Bianca out here walking around half naked, like this every day. Walking around with swastikas on and Nazi and all this unnecessary BS, man. You done text Kim that she gonna have to kill you first, like. You saying people were giving you drugs and they were drugging you and they had you doing all this stuff. Well, it seemed like you might need to be on this stuff, dude, because you all out of control with this one. All out of control. Just hopefully they can get this together. But he needs to be wrangled in, and maybe Kim gonna have to put her foot down. Maybe she files for full custody, and maybe the judge will rule that he gonna have to go get some therapy or something, or his visit is gonna have to be supervised or something, because you shouldn't have your kids around dudes that's accused of stuff like this. That's not a good look at all. Not a good look. Not a good look. So hopefully they get it under control. I hate seeing stuff like this. I feel bad for the kids. I really do. I really, really do. So for my final topic tonight, Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson. The Department of Defense decided that they were going to take down all this stuff related to DE&I. It's been this attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion, but it just seemed like they just doing whatever they want to do to try to erase history. To me, that's what it seems like at this point, because the stuff that's going on, this is some straight up nonsense. And two things have happened this week. Number one, the Arlington National Cemetery website had on their page like hyperlinks for notable African Americans, Hispanic Americans, women, just highlighting, like, so you can easily go if you want to go check out like some notable African Americans that might be buried at Arlington. It's over 3,800 of them out there. So if you want to go check out somebody, you could click on the African American link, and it'll take you. You can go search the names out there. Well, like people like Medgar Evers and Colin Powell, if you want to do that, they're all out there. Well, they decided they were going to take those links down. So now you can't even go search on the website to go even figure it out, to even see the grave sites. So it's at the point now where you basically got to know who you really want to go see and see if they're at Arlington. I don't even see the purpose of them doing this. This was just dumb. You taking this stuff off the website for what? Market it as DE&I? What's up with that? It's a way to highlight the history, because especially for Black folks in the military, our history was completely different. Completely different. Some of these guys did some incredible things against odds that they didn't have to put up with. For things that happened when they came back home from war. They go fight overseas for freedom for other countries and come back to segregation and Jim Crow. What it seemed like to me is that this is a conscious effort to strip and erase the history of this country and try to reshape it so people can feel like none of this stuff ever happened. It makes zero sense. These men and women who are at Arlington are some of the most esteemed patriots this country has ever seen. And the idea that you all would sit up there and take the site down and change everything on the site and strip these people of being recognized is straight up nonsense to me. And it's straight bullshit. And then you do it to Jackie Robinson on the DOD's website, where they listed Jackie Robinson and his accomplishments and his military service of him being in the Army. And you take it down, and then it's a bunch of backlash, and then it's marked as DE&I. When you go on this link, it's marked as DE&I on the hyperlink. And then after people criticize the hell out of it, all of a sudden it magically pops back up on the website, and nobody seems to know what the hell happened. You got somebody running the Department of Defense who is not qualified to be the defense secretary. There is no reason why Pete Hegseth should be anywhere near running the Pentagon. This is straight up foolishness. All this crap that's going on with DE&I and the government right now is nonsense. All they're doing is pissing people off. It's dividing the country more, and it doesn't amount to anything as far as I'm concerned. It's almost if it's like our government wants to have like a damn race war or something. What the hell is the problem with highlighting the accomplishments of some esteemed African Americans and Latinos and women who did some extraordinary things in the military? What the hell is the problem with that? Not everybody who did great things was a white man, especially in the military. And I say that as somebody who served for 20 damn years. There's no way in hell I can see myself still being in the military right now. I don't even see how my brothers and sisters do it, to be honest. To have to be putting up with this shit, I wouldn't. This is foolishness. Jackie Robinson was a glass breaker. He shattered the glass. And the Negro Leagues had way better players than Jackie Robinson. He wasn't even the best player for the Negro League. But he was one that was able to break down that barrier and become an elite baseball player in the major leagues. And he still had to deal with Jim Crow when they went around and he couldn't stay in the hotels with his players. He still had to deal with all this BS while he was being great. And you all want to take that away. Take it down and then put it back up them after the backlash, and then nobody knows. It was already though. Seriously, people are running the government right now, and they have no idea what the hell they're doing. The economy is completely in the tank. This is all this stuff going on every single day. Is something getting removed, getting stripped down. What are we doing here? It seems like the country wants to go back to segregation and a bunch of crap that we shouldn't even be a part of. This ain't making America great at all. This is making it even worse. This is taking it somewhere that it shouldn't be trying to go back to. So we need to start saying something. The voices need to make this stuff clear. There need to be some calls made to some Congress people on both sides of the aisle to wrangle this crap in, because this is not good for the country at all. This ain't good. This is not good for the country. And conservatives are saying this is not good. I mean, you got conservatives that don't like this. You got Democrats that don't like this. You got independents that don't like this. This is not what these people voted for if they voted for Trump. But I guess they didn't know. They got blindsided and didn't know what the hell they was voting for. It seemed like every single thing that's in Project 2025 is getting implemented right now. They're stripping away history and trying to rewrite it right now. So you can't let that happen at all. It cannot happen. So, well, that's my time for the night, y'all. That's my time for the night. I'll see you guys Sunday night. Hoping to have a guest on Sunday night to talk about some things that's going on in California with all the politics of the California task force and all that stuff that's going on with the Democratic Party in California. So we'll see if that's going to take place. But if not, I have some topics to cover, and we'll get into it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe, and continue to support the channel, y'all. I appreciate it so much. Until next time, let's keep it coaching.